Imagine this. The lights dim, the screen flickers to life, and a hush falls over the crowd. What starts as a simple family gathering quickly spirals into a suspense-driven story, full of secrets, betrayals, and tension you can almost feel crawling under your skin. That's the promise of Anniversary, the upcoming psychological family drama directed by Jan Komasa. With a powerhouse cast and a score designed to raise goosebumps, the film has already become one of the most anticipated releases of 2025. And while it's still months away from hitting theaters, audiences are already talking about what could make Anniversary one of the most unforgettable cinematic experiences of the year. Scheduled for release on October 29, 2025, Anniversary drops at the perfect time, just before Halloween, when audiences are in the mood for something chilling, suspenseful, and emotionally gripping. But unlike typical horror or thriller films that lean on jump scares or supernatural elements, Anniversary keeps its focus grounded in raw human conflict. The trailer, which was released earlier this summer, teases tense conversations, uncomfortable silences, and explosive emotional confrontations that will keep audiences on edge. It's not about what lurks in the shadows. It's about what lurks inside people we think we know best. At the heart of this tense family saga is Diane, portraying Ellen, a character caught in the middle of emotional chaos. Opposite her is Chandler as Paul, the husband whose relationship with Ellen serves as the core of the story. Their chemistry is what makes the entire premise believable. Decades of shared history, trust, and pain play out through every look. Every pause, every fight. Add in Zoe Deutsch as Cynthia and Dylan O'Brien as Josh, and suddenly the family dynamic gets even more layered, bridging generational perspectives while raising the stakes of every interaction. And that's just scratching the surface of this ensemble cast. Phoebe Dynevor steps in as Liz, while Daryl McCormack plays Rob, each adding new dimensions to the already complicated story. Rising star McKenna Grace brings youthful intensity as Birdie, and Madeline Brewer rounds out the cast as Anna, someone whose role, though still mysterious, promises to be impactful. Together, this mix of established veterans and younger talents ensures that Anniversary won't just feel like another thriller. It'll feel like an experience that mirrors real family life, only pushed to its most extreme breaking points. Of course, no great thriller works without the right soundtrack, and this is where Danny Bensi and Sonder Urians come in. The composing duo are known for turning subtle emotions into sonic intensity, and for Anniversary, they've built a score meant to both unsettle and overwhelm. Their past work has leaned heavily into atmosphere, creating music that doesn't just sit in the background, but actively shapes how audiences feel about a scene. Expect unsettling strings, quiet piano tones, and sudden bursts of sound that turn even small, intimate moments into heart-racing experiences. Now let's talk about Jan Komasa. If his name sounds familiar, it's because the Polish director has been praised for his work on films like Corpus Christi, which earned an Academy Award nomination. Komasa is a filmmaker who thrives on raw emotional tension, and this project is his chance to bring that talent to a mainstream international audience. He's not the kind of director who settles for easy cliches. Instead, he digs into the human psyche and presents stories in ways that feel deeply relatable, yet uncomfortable. That approach is exactly what makes Anniversary so promising. The trailer itself gives us just enough to get hooked without spoiling anything important. We see fleeting shots of tense dinner table conversations, emotional breakdowns, and moments where silence speaks louder than words. Every frame feels carefully crafted, with Komasa leaning on both subtlety and intensity to set the mood. What's most striking, though, is how much the trailer leaves unsaid. It doesn't reveal the full story, It only teases it, leaving viewers eager to fill in the blanks with their own speculation. And that mystery is already driving conversations online. One of the standout elements of the movie is its focus on the fragility of trust within a family. What happens when people you thought you could rely on start revealing their hidden sides? How does love survive betrayal, disappointment, and the pressure of secrets long buried? Anniversary doesn't offer an easy answer, but it dares to explore those questions in a way that feels hauntingly real. By focusing less on external villains and more on the conflict within the home, the movie taps into something we all understand: how fragile family bonds can truly be. Diane Lane and Kyle Chandler, both seasoned actors, are expected to deliver powerhouse performances. Lane has always been able to portray strength mixed with vulnerability, while Chandler brings a kind of quiet intensity that makes him perfect for roles that demand emotional range. Their interactions will likely be the beating heart of Anniversary, anchoring the suspense with performances that feel authentic. Add the energy of Zoe Deutsch, the charisma of Dylan O'Brien, and the freshness of Phoebe Dynevor, and it's clear why critics are already saying the ensemble could elevate this film to award-worthy status. What makes the release date even more strategic is the cultural appetite during late October. This is the season when audiences are ready for films that make them feel unsettled, but not necessarily through gore or cheap thrills. Instead, they're looking for stories that stay with them, stories that are conversation starters. Anniversary seems primed to deliver exactly that. A movie that audiences won't just watch, but will also debate, dissect, and carry with them long after leaving the theater. It's suspense, not for shock value, but for reflection. The supporting cast also deserves recognition. McKenna Grace has proven time and again that she can carry emotionally complex roles well beyond her years, while Madeline Brewer brings an edginess that fits perfectly in a psychological drama. These younger actors don't just fill background roles, they bring new layers of complexity to the central family conflict. Their inclusion ensures that the story isn't just about one generation, but about how different perspectives collide when a family's foundations start to crack. Another exciting element is how the film positions itself between genres. It's not quite a traditional thriller, nor is it a straightforward drama. Instead, it blends the two, pulling the best from each. You'll get the intensity and suspense that keeps you guessing, but you'll also get emotionally rich storytelling that makes you care deeply about the outcome. That blend could make Anniversary appealing to audiences who don't normally go for thrillers, but love character-driven stories. It's a smart way to widen the film's reach. When we think about thrillers that truly stay in our cultural memory, they're often the ones that feel closest to reality. Anniversary seems poised to join that list by leaning into conflicts we recognize in our own lives: miscommunication, disappointment, and the struggle to truly know the people we love. Sure, most of us don't live through situations as heightened as what's shown here, but the themes are universal. That's what gives the film its power. It's personal, it's intimate, and it's terrifying precisely because it feels so possible. It's also